If you're talking Super Bowl and you're talking Pittsburgh Steelers, you got to be talking about Donnie Shell, the legendary strong safety. I had a chance to sit down with Donnie earlier, and I asked him if he was playing today, who would he really want to smash?
Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald?
Yeah, I like when he comes across the middle. I like the soccer one. Now, however, the hits back then, I got fined a lot more because they're not allowed now. But he's a great guy and a great receiver.
At the University of South Florida, I'm Justin LaBar for the Point Park News Service. It is projected it's going to take 6 but probably 7 wins to be locked into the postseason for playoffs. So less than 24 hours after the win Friday night, the Pioneers step back into the ring with their backs up against the ropes, taking on the Houghton Highlanders. Here we go. It's the boys pumped up. They know it's at stake. They're getting excited. Anton Batin, native from Eastern Russia, big 3 for Batin. You're going to see him all over the highlights. Number 45, another big 3. The only answer the Houghton could come up in the first half, number 22, Devin Page, answering with a 3. Batin getting his own rebound and the score. 17 points in the first half for Batin. Devin Page, again, just trying to answer back. Nice looking 3 for him. So we go to the half, 35-27. Point Park up. They control the first half. But what about the second half? Watch Anzalone with the ball. Boom! Right into Anton's nose. Anton busted up. It actually ended up being about his eyebrow. Really not doing good. Somebody better get that man some ice. He would be busted up. But he would come back into the game about 5 minutes later, but he would not be the same. More on that in a moment. What about Billy Evans? 3, and he falls down. Anzalone, big block. They would not score off the block. All of a sudden, it's 57, 55, 50 seconds left to go. Houghton gets fouled. They're going to make both free throws. It'll send us to overtime because we're tied up 57-57. So late into overtime, Batin's going to get fouled. Bad bandage and all on his left eye. He's going to be sent to the line. He's a top free throw shooter for the Pioneers. He misses that one. Makes this. All of a sudden, it's 65-62. Houghton in the 3-point lead. 7 seconds left to go. Point Park has the ball. Can they win it? In the end, Franco loses the ball. Yannick Anzalone would steal it away. Time would expire. That would be all she wrote, folks. 65-62. Houghton gets the win. Devin Page, 20 points. So the Pioneers are on the road this weekend, first against Wilberforce, then against the conference leader and 4th in the country, Cedarville Yellow Jackets. You can catch those highlights plus highlights of all this past week's game and analysis on the Pioneers Sideline. New episode airs this Wednesday right after the newscast at 5:30 on YouView, or log on to pioneersideline.com. That is authentic. That is Pittsburgh. That is beer. I am Justin. This is John. And no, we are not in Pittsburgh. We are in Brandon, Florida, a day before the big game. That's right. It's Saturday night. We're looking to the big game tomorrow. John, what do the Steelers need to do to win?
The Steelers need to play the same defense that they play every year. The #1 defense in the NFL. We will score, but our defense is the answer to the question. Palomalo will take the ball away, and the Steelers have lived on defense for 3 decades, and they'll live on defense again, and we will go home with six Super Bowl trophies after Sunday.
All right, now you told me you came down here from Jacksonville. What kind of sacrifice are you making to come all the way down from Jacksonville to here? I mean, are you neglecting a job, or what are you doing?
I actually rode 3 hours without drinking. That was tremendously hard, but now that I am here, I am going to make up for all of that lost time.
All right, well, we got Iron City, we got John, we got drinking, and tomorrow we got football. John says it's a Steeler win. I think these fans think so, too.
All right, here we go, Steelers.
We are a day away from voting to begin for the next president of the United States. We're about 3 hours away from Monday Night Football featuring the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Redskins. Now, what if I told you we may know who is going to be our next president by the end of Monday Night Football before Election Day? That's right, a president precedent. Impossible? The Washington Redskins would disagree. Since 1936, the last home game the nation's capital's team would have prior to the Tuesday election would provide a trend to the results of the new president. If the Redskins won, the incumbent party would stay in office. If the Skins lost, a new party would take control. So that would mean if the Skins win, McCain is in. If the Steelers win, Obama is in. The trend is true. Take you back to the year 2000. It was Gore versus Bush. In the controversial close margin, Bush became president by only 5 electoral votes, and the incumbent Democratic Party was no longer in office. The last home game the Redskins had prior to that election was a Monday night game against the Titans, where they lost by 1 touchdown. 17 times out of 17 times, the trend has happened. With what is possibly at stake in tonight's gridiron showdown, I took the word to the Berg to see if the interest in the game goes up even more than it already is. If you're a Pittsburgh fan, who are you kidding? Being in Tampa for Super Bowl weekend is awesome. And if that's not cool enough, how about the new honor and excitement that we reached when we got to sit down with the MVP of Super Bowl I and II, Bart Starr, a man who knows something about how impressive the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise really is.
I think your word impressive may be undervalued, because I don't know of any organization which has done as well as they have over a period of time. They're phenomenal, and I'm not patronizing them or you. I have immense respect for them and have for the years, because of the way the team, the organization has been managed, run, organized. It's classy. And I think that all teams can learn from that, regardless of sport, regardless of where they are at the time. But they've been an inspiration for many.
For the Point Park News Service, I'm Justin LaBar. This is Cassie Bruno. She is the youngest daughter of Point Park volleyball coach Mike Bruno. Cassie is almost 3 years old and is unable to see due to a premature birth.
I was about 5 months pregnant when she was born. She weighed less than 2 pounds and stayed in the hospital for 114 days. Her vision diagnosis, we weren't given that until about 3 weeks before she was ready to come home. So up until then, we had no idea that she was even going to have any vision problems.
But like Mike Bruno and his volleyball girls, who will always put up a fight to win, Cassie is no different and has stayed determined to fight anything that comes her way.
She has fought from day one, and she's a fighter to this day. She is one of the most pleasant little girls.
But the Bruno family in Point Park Volleyball would not let Cassie fight alone, so they decided to host the first ever Volley for Vision fundraiser.
What a way to incorporate both my professional and my family life. And I come up with the idea. We are doing it 2 different ways. You know, we're soliciting flat rate donations for the donors that are not volleyball savvy, and then we are pledging per dig. It's a defensive stat in volleyball. And we switched our whole defensive system up this year. We're looking to take that next step. Instead of being a second-tier program in the AMC, we're looking to take that next step. And I'm telling the girls on the team that, hey, the foundation to take that next step is the defense. So everything just kind of ties in.
All of the money raised at Volley for Vision would go towards the Ropard Foundation.
It's for retinopathy of prematurity and other related diseases. Cassie has the retinopathy of prematurity.
Overall, Volley for Vision drew in revenue and made people more aware of how they could help a little girl and millions of others who suffer from premature birth-related disabilities. The event was also a chance for Cassie Bruno to be an inspiration to others.
It took me a long time to be okay with her vision impairment, and now I am absolutely 100% fine with it because I know she's okay with it.
Everybody on this team loves them, adores them. They're so cute, and I know even after the seniors graduate, all the underclassmen are going to have a great time with them.
I saw some of the girls, crying, and I had to tell them. I said, "Don't cry. She's a sense of inspiration for me." And and they actually talked, and I got a lot of good positive vibes from them that she's been a driving motivational force for some of them on the team, which is, again, that you can't put the words how that makes you feel as a father, that your daughter can impact someone positively and bring out the best in people.